Good evening, everyone. My name is Jaquise Mar. I am the host of this awesome page, Learning with Jasmine. I just want to let you guys know that it is day 20. Day 20. We have 10 more events this month. It is Autism Awareness Month. I'm so glad that you guys are here. You guys, listen up. Yesterday was number 50 video. This is 51. So for those who um, basically do not have not watched all the videos, you can go on YouTube channel Learning with Jasmine, and you can definitely watch it through there. I'm trying to post a comment below. I don't know why it's not working, so I'm gonna comment below. Okay, so I did comment below of my article that we're going to be talking about, and we're going to be talking about individuals with autism with puberty. Now, I am not a doctor. I'm just a mom who has a child who has autism. I'm just an advocate, and there's some topics that I do not know. I kind of wish I have other people around, but I don't. So I am going to just give you guys just a overview of what I've been researching myself, and there's an article that I just posted, and I want you all to look at it and then research for other things go along with that, please. But it's interesting because a lot of times, again, I shared this a while back. Well, not in a few in the probably like a day or two, I share this. Some different topics that we discuss, we always think about, okay, the us versus them, right? But they are human, which means that there are some things that just bound to happen. It's not going to stop. So just because they're have a diagnosis doesn't mean that there's not going to be puberty. Okay, everyone has to go through puberty. And so I like this one fact that this article that I posted, it actually has a video of parents basically saying, you know, telling their kids, this is what's gonna happen. Okay, just because you have a diagnosis doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. The child was getting upset because of the voice, and she said, I can't do anything about that. It's going to happen. You know, for a boy, and then for a girl, it's going to happen. The monthly cycle, it's going to happen, or getting the breast, it's going to happen. Okay, and so those type of things that comes along with those conversations. And the article basically was saying that to make it known, to make it more clear, is that it's just because there's a diagnosis doesn't mean that the time frame of a girl and a time frame of a boy who is going to go through puberty, it's not going to like stop, or it's going to prolong. It's going to be, and I literally, she's 9, you guys, and yeah, she's at the beginning stage already. My fear is that we are literally on still, let's go to the bathroom. What do we do when we go to the bathroom? What do we do after we go to the bathroom? We're on that, still in that stage. And so my thing is, I want to be, you know, clear, and I want to feel like I am, you know, supporting her and everything that, what's go along with this, with puberty. It's just like extra thing that I have to be mindful of, because I am a woman. I take care of my hygiene. I take care of my um, non welcome visitor every month. And that's just me, right? So I just have to be mindful of that when it comes down to with Jasmine. And so I've never experienced that in my life of taking care of somebody else when they're having that issue. I mean, it's not really an issue, but when they're having that every month, I don't, this is going to be the first time. So just to be, I'm a little bit scared. I have to be honest with you. I'm a little bit scared. And so there's some things that I just have to research and have to kind of talk her through to make her feel comfortable and to not make her feel like I'm being overwhelmed and for me to not feel and to share those type of feelings when she can sense it, and make her feel welcome and make her feel like, there's nothing wrong with her because something is coming, you know, you know, making her be almost like me, like when it comes down to puberty. And so there's a type of things that comes along with just having those conversations, just being real, just so the article is saying, which is very true, whether your child has autism or not, when it comes down to they're starting noticing some things like some hair or a deeper voice or that non welcomed visitor for girls every month, those type of things that comes along with maybe talking to them, but also feeding off of their energy. And like if there's an upsetting statement, then kind of just brush it aside, leave it alone, and then come back to it a little bit later on. Also, the article was talking about, um, giving them books and giving them pictures for them to look at and kind of talk to. So I remember I'm in the restroom, minding my own business, and Jasmine comes and she says, "Oh no, that's the same statement that I made when I was little with my mother." So the simple fact that is like a first notice conversation that comes along with, okay, well, this is what you're going to be having in, later on. And she's like, no, mommy, Jasmine's not going to have that. But it is, it's going to happen. And so just to have that conversation with her is something that is trouble on my end, but it is definitely going to be helpful when it comes down to it. And so that is what's we're gonna have. We might have to use like a baby doll, and talk about her body and talk about whatever the case may be to go along with, preparing. So I think that's a really good statement that they were using. I definitely highly recommend you looking at the article that is being presented. And there is a video, you guys. That video is awesome. It's parents actually talking about puberty and what did they do. And so that's really a good one that, I highly recommend. Okay. So just to be just to kind of recap on the article, it talks about when to start preparing children with autism for puberty, what to say about puberty with children with autism, being careful with language about puberty. That something is a really good part of that. So I'm going to click on that, and you might need to be careful about your use of language, particularly if your child takes things literally. You know, that is something. So, for example, when you describe your son's voice as breaking, your child might find this worrying. It's going to actually break. Instead, you could say something like, your voice is changing, will get deeper. I like the simple fact that this article kind of break down. It's kind of like what you should say and versus what you should not say. Okay. So you should also explain that men's voices are usually deeper than women's. Okay. Your son's father's voice or his brother's or older brothers could be a good example. So I remember I talked to Jasmine about breasts, right? And I was naming all the people that are, women that are in the family that have breasts. I mean, those type of things that comes along, like those type of conversation. And just because she has autism doesn't mean that we should not talk to her, talk to individuals with autism about those things. Now, here's the thing that I really found it like, oh yes, that's a really great information. Is the simple fact that it says, hold on, you guys. It said that individuals with autism um, may not fully comprehend the information, and that's just with kids in general, but especially with individuals that have a diagnosis. It's something that has to do with um, just understanding what is going on. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. I know this is something that is like kind of like, okay, well, obviously, right? But, like, oh well, I don't have a child with autism, and I had to do the same things. And so that's great. But I like the simple fact that they do have on the article below, I do have, excuse me, that they do have parents of children who have autism that could basically talks about what their experience is and what do they do and what do they say. And I like the some fact that this article tells you exactly what you could possibly say versus what you should not say. Because if your child in general is takes things so seriously, breaking, the voice is breaking. Like my voice is like kind of breaking right now. I don't know why. Maybe I need more water. But excuse me. But the some fact that now you have a child who has a diagnosis that may actually be like if I say something to Jasmine, that actually might be a more that would be might be an extra anxiety, right? So I have to be careful on what I tell her and how I say it, the way it's described versus something else, right? And so that's exactly what the article is saying. So I definitely like the simple fact that they talk about pictures of yourself at different ages. Oh, that's a really great one. That's a really great one. The different changes of your body as a parent. So baby, toddler, go from there to there. I like that one. So that's on the article too. I like the simple fact that they said, of course, being patient, honest, and for example, say to your daughter, the shape of my body will change. I will start to have periods. And then for a boy can say my body will look different. My body will do new things. My voice will sound different. So those type of things that comes along. They also have examples of social story on wet dreams. That's real, you guys. Let's be real. The article does say to be real, to tell the truth, right? But just be mindful of what the language and what age it is. And so it has an example of wet dreams. That's what it is, right? Here's something that they do not put in, and something that definitely need to be addressed is that, and something to keep in mind is definitely when it comes down to dating, uh, puberty, dating, all that type of things. Just interaction with other individuals, especially with the girls. Something that you definitely need to have that conversation with your child and have that real talk when it comes down to that. Maybe you don't feel like she should not date until whenever. But it's real. And that's a part of when it comes down to puberty. It's real. It doesn't matter if the child has a diagnosis or not. It's real. It's there. It's coming. And I'm like, but it's real. It's coming, Jaquise. And I just have to make sure that I'm patient and I'm preparing her for the next change. So that's my 2 cents, you guys, on this. It's a really great article again, and I hope that you guys kind of be like, okay, all right, well, I guess it's not just me type of thing, or hey, Jaquise, this is what I've been doing. Please comment below. I really need your help. I really need some insurance. Oh my goodness. But it's gonna be all right, Jaquise. It's gonna be all right. But you can comment below and just let me know for girls. I don't know how it's gonna be. It's and what the transition between those things are. So here's my moment of I'm scared. Just be honest. I'm just scared. But I know that it's going to be all right once I get the swing of things, right? But I'm scared. Okay. All right. So tomorrow we are going to be talking about routines. Oh, awesome. That's something I know. That's something I'm not scared of. Okay, you guys. I hope this helps. All right, have a good night. Oh, and so hold on. Before I go, I do have a show at 8 o'clock at it's not gonna be recorded live, but I do have a show uh under a someone else's program. And I do have a show on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So I will put down the information on the one on Saturday. I will put down the information on Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to be on there, you have to register, but it's free to be on, and you can kind of hear, a little bit about my story within that time frame. If you have not, or to support me, thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Bye bye.